hela trakten alla fest, fest hela dagen. Bjud från livets grottor kvar.
I can edit it out. Oh my god.
På skolan har vi alltid gjort så det är bullfest hela dagen.
Hello, I'm back. I said I was going to make more videos and I'm doing it. Thank you for coming back and joining me on another adventure. This one is sewing a shirt. I know, so interesting. I am practicing sewing. I have not sewn something properly in 5 months. I've done like, oh, someone has a rip in their pants or their shirt, so I'm sewing it back together, or someone needs to adjust their pants, so I'm sewing it to make it fit, but not a proper project. The last one I did, I really, really loved, and I can't find it anymore. My mom cleaned the closet, and all of a sudden, it's like disappeared. So who knows if it's sitting in a Goodwill right now? We don't know. Hopefully it's not, because I loved it so much, but we're trying something new. I'm going to be sewing like a shape into a shirt where you can see the pins. Yeah, showing a shape into a shirt. I wanted to splice a shirt together. That was the main goal. But then as I started cutting, instead of just doing the proper procedure of ironing your shirts out, getting a measure, you know, doing all the procedural things that you need to do to sew something correctly, I took the shortcut and just decided to freehand it, and it didn't work out. Like, it never works out, and I still do that every single time. Don't learn my lesson. But this is what I was left with. I cut more than half of the shirt off, so it's pretty short, but I thought I still could redeem myself and not waste a whole bunch of fabric. And so I'm trying something and seeing if it turns out well. But this is the journey. We're learning together. Tip that I learned from a YouTube video: if you're trying to sew in a straight line, don't look at the needle. The same way, like, if you're trying to stand on one leg, don't look at things that are moving. Look at like a fixed point that's like stable, because when your eyes are looking at something that's moving, then your body starts to kind of shift around. So if you're trying to sew in a straight line, don't look at the needle, look at the line that you're trying to make, or like just kind of to the right or the left of the needle. Focus on the fabric essentially, and you'll get a straight line. Starting the machine, turn it on. There we go. There's a lot of features about a sewing machine that I don't know. A lot. But I'm getting there. Currently, I just decided that to not try to do fancy stitch patterns, even though there's a lot. Like, if I... That. Like, all of that. I don't know if you can see it very well. But there's about 59 different stitch patterns that are, like, preset into this machine. I only know how to use like 2 of them. 2, 3, maybe 4 if I stretch it a little bit. But I don't really know how to use it. But we'll just start with basic lines for now. I meant to start this yesterday and I didn't, so today is the day. Also, I don't know if anyone really cares, but do you see... No! Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We're good. We're good. My brother's laughing at me. Anyways, do you see... Oh, no! Wait, I got it. I can edit it out. Anyways, do you see this? I don't know if you get really close. This is like the box. I use it to store some stuff, but like it helps if I need more surface space for like sewing, like when I'm, you know, dragging the fabric. But it's hard to feed fabric over and through, if that makes sense. And this is here, so if you have a sewing machine or just got one, you can just remove it, set it off to the side, and boom, there's space. And then there's a space like right under here, so I can feed the fabric through easier. I mean, I remember like I was using my sewing machine for maybe 2 or 3 months until I realized that I could just remove that thing. So, alright, so we're going to begin. Yeah, I think it makes the most sense to start at the bottom so I can do a straight line. Who knows what this is going to turn out like, but it's the excitement of trying new things. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let me stop talking and actually get down to business. Apologies if there's noise in the background. Some people don't know how to be quiet on sets.
Yeah, because you live in a big house, a big family.
Anyways. And do you see how professional I am? I put pins to keep the fabric together. Putting pins is probably, on the ranking of things I don't like to do when I sew, putting pins in is probably, like, number one, okay? I always poke myself. Almost always. But anyways, I digress. Okay. Okay. Ow! See, I poked myself with one of the needles. I mean, truly my least favorite thing about this. Oh my gosh. I do have a box full of clips that I got as a Christmas gift. So I do use those quite often to like hold fabric together. But when it comes to something like this, where it's literally being stitched into the middle of the fabric, pins are the only thing that really work. Buy clips to help you when you don't need to use pins. These pins freaking suck. Okay, lift that up. Take out yet another pin. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh. I don't know if you can see it. It's so hard to see, but this actually is coming out a lot better than I expected. Claps to me. Pats on the back. Call me a designer. Wait for it, guys, because I'm really out here. Really out here. Oh my god. As I am finishing off the stitch, this is what I mean when I say common sense doesn't come easily to me sometimes, especially when it comes to sewing. I have been struggling to finish off my stitches and not have it be looking really jumbled at the back. This might not be perfect. Let me show you. This might not be perfect, like this stitch at the end. It might not be perfect, wonderful, but this is pretty clean compared to what I usually do. And I was like, why? And I realized it's because I started out my stitch and I didn't close it. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll start it off and then like lock the stitch, so go back. And then if you don't know what that means, I can explain. So you start the stitch just a little bit, and then there's a button here and right here that where you can like reverse the stitch, and that's essentially what you do to like lock your stitch, go back and forth over it, and then continue. I will do that at the beginning, and then once I get to the end and go over that stitch, it becomes really jumbled together. What I did this time was I started my stitch and I didn't lock it, and then when I loop back around, that's when I locked the stitch, and it makes it much cleaner instead of a jumbled mess. And you would think locking the stitch would mean that you should do that at the end, right? Again, common sense doesn't come easily sometimes. But like I said, we're all learning. If you're learning with me, if you're learning how to sew, no, there are others out there who make mistakes too. But I'm done with the first part. Also, the back stitch is black because I was too lazy to change the bobbin. That's also something that I dislike very much when it comes to sewing, is having to change the bobbin. Again, if you don't know what the bobbin is, it's in this little compartment right here, and it's like, you know, the thread that goes under and loops through, right? You usually want to change it so it matches your, you know, regular thread, but because this is, you know, again, this is practice, I'm not that serious. I was just too lazy to change it, and it's also annoying because I don't want to waste thread, and so if I have like a half full bobbin of thread, I'll like try to loop it back onto the thread it came from, just so I save thread, but that's annoying, and I like to cut corners. So, but this is what it looks like. This little white spot here is the actual logo of the shirt because I didn't place it perfectly on, but this is what I did, and it's cute. I'm thinking maybe I can get more fabric and like layer it over. Get more fabric and like layer it over, make like a smaller square on the inside. But for now, this is practice, so we're gonna do this, and then I'm going to go over this with a darker thread, that way you can see it, and we're gonna see how this turns out. Oh, I'm excited. Another thing I like to do, oh, and look at that. This is the last of the bobbin thread, so luckily I checked it. It lasted just enough for me to use it for the first part, so I'm gonna have to refill the bobbin. So I get to show you what that looks like. Yay! First things first, so again, if you don't know the regular mechanics of a sewing machine, and let me focus this thing. Focus, there we go. So this, when you're sewing, I thread it through here, here, and then through this section right here. Right. But when I am doing the bobbin, I would sit the bobbin right here, and so instead of threading it all the way down, I'm going to thread it through this thing around and over here, and you can see it has instructions on how you do that, and so it's helpful. It always reminds you of the basic things. But I'm going to be threading the bobbin, so yeah. Another tip when you're threading the bobbin, you want to hold, you just see here, I don't know if you can see very well, but you need to hold that string. I've made the mistake of letting go like when it just starts, and it'll just cause it to tangle. You have to hold on to the string as it winds, and then eventually once it gets like partially full, you can let go. But yeah. Anywho, I figured it out, and I have a full bobbin, but I already put it in the machine, and I don't feel like taking it out just to show you what it looks like. I mean, you can assume what that looks like. But, yeah. So now we can get back to sewing. Back to business. So, we're gonna thread this back through here, and we're gonna start at the bottom. Also, I realized another pro tip. When I say pro, I mean amateur tip. If you're like me and you decide not to switch your bobbin out so that it can be the same color as your top thread, then do not try to do the whole inside out and then sew it. Do right side out and sew it so that the color that you don't want to be shown is actually on the back. I've made that mistake. I know, again, it might seem like common sense, but remember, if you haven't changed your bobbin color and it still looks like the previous one that you used and doesn't match the one that you have, don't sew inside out, because you'll forget that it's not going to look like the top thread. It's going to look like the freaking bottom thread. Had to change the angle so I can charge my phone, but here we go. It's going great, guys. It's going good. I'm going to show you what it looks like after I'm done, and I'm so proud of myself because I didn't forget everything about sewing in the last 5 months that I haven't done it. Claps. So, this is what it looks like so far. I honestly don't even know if you can see the darker threads that well, but it shows up better in better lighting. Also, like, not on camera, like in person. You can see how there's like essentially air pockets in here because I didn't stretch the fabric out. Of course, that's another thing that I didn't do, but it's hard when you keep twisting fabric to keep it like spread out. That's another thing that helps when you have more space to sew, but it's all a learning process. But overall, pretty happy with it. I could go through the effort of trying to undo the stitches and make it flat, but you know what? This is a thrifted piece, okay? And it's practice. As long as I'm okay with wearing it, that's all that matters, okay? All that matters. And so now we gotta hem it. I'm going to sew along the edge, so like that will help me figure out what my straight line is, and then I'll just fold and kind of follow that, if that makes sense. So that's what we're gonna do. See how it goes. We have a little bit of like a not frayed, but like kind of ruffled look here based on what I've already done, and it's been so close to the thing, like some of the, you know, thread is lifting, but I'm actually kind of digging how it's coming out, so I'm gonna try to stick with this. I just have to kind of redo a little bit of the stitching here, and I'm gonna come back and show you what the final product looks like. Again, I really want to like overlay something here, but that might be for another day, so we'll see what we get. So, this is the final product, and I like it. It's not perfect. If you look closely, you might be able to tell it's not perfect at whatsoever, but it's progress and it's kind of cute. It's giving tattered. It's giving dancer t-shirt, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like when I wear it. So you're back. So I had to put a tank top on because this is really cropped, but I'm proud of myself. I keep saying it because I'm trying to convince myself, but you guys are coming on the journey of me evolving in my skills. I've created much more complex things like than this before, but they didn't turn out the way I wanted to. So I want to start simple back at the beginning. You know, that's important. I mean, I can try to make two-piece outfits again, but if I really don't know the basics, what am I doing? So practice makes perfect. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what it looks like on me. And this is what it looks like. Let me get closer a little bit so you can see the shape I sewed onto it. And I'm honestly digging it, I am. And then, you know, it looks kind of ruffled at the back, but yeah, this is what it looks like on, and I'll wear this. I mean, it's just a simple crop shirt. You can't really see the design that I made, you know, at first glance, but that's fine. Again, it was just practice, and I might layer something on top of it later, but this is the finished product, and I'm actually very happy with it. It looks even, it's cute, it's just a simple crop shirt. Yay. I want to thank you so much for watching me do this and, you know, mess up and make mistakes and just have fun while I sew, because sewing is therapeutic to me. Sewing is fun, it's just what I love to do, and so I appreciate you coming along my journey, my video, and watching me sew this and be happy about it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you come back for more. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and tap the bell notification for more videos from me and knowing when they drop. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.